I'm going to call this board meeting of the Peoria Public Schools Board of Education, board meeting June 10th, 2024, to order at 6:30 p.m. Madam Secretary, can you please call the roll?
Mrs. Costick. Mr. Klaus.
Here.
Mrs. McConnell.
Here.
Dr. Rankin.
Here.
Mrs. Ross.
Here.
Dr. Wilson.
Here.
We have 6 present.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we start our announcements, I want to recognize the boards to my right, your left. Jaguars with Sterling, thank you so much. Oh, I see Sterling Jaguars. Lovely. And then over here we have Hines. Welcome to our hive. Hines is right there. 2 other announcements. You might have heard that board member Wilson did receive his doctorate, so now he is Dr. Wilson. Congratulations to board member Wilson.
Thank you.
Yes, and as was made known in the news, Board President Mike Murphy has moved out of the area, and his resignation was effective as of June 8th. We will have more announcements at the end of our meeting today about how to apply for that vacancy. So with that, I'm going to toss it over to Board Member Klaus for any announcements.
Summer learning session. The summer learning session is in the second week at Glen Oak CLC and Annie Jo Gordon. Around 850 students are in attendance each day to participate in a wide range of activities such as tie-dyeing, speech, debate, chess, and more. And the summer mural camp. Attention high school students, sign up for the PPS mural camp to paint a mural with local Peoria artists on June 10th to 21st at Glen Oak Community Learning Center from 1 to 3 p.m. Register now at peoriapublicschools.org/mural.
Good evening, everyone. Summer meals. Peoria Public Schools will serve breakfast and lunch to children 18 and under from May 28th until June 14th at all 3 high schools. Breakfast is offered between 8:30 and 9:15, and lunch is served from 11:30 until 12. And from June 3rd to June 21st, Glen Oak Community Learning Center offers breakfast from 7:30 until 8:30, and lunch is served from 12 noon until 12:30. And at Annie Jo Gordon, breakfast is from 7:30 until 8:30, and lunch is served between 11 and 12. Summer meals.
Thank you. Ms. Kostick.
Good evening. Juneteenth. In observation of Juneteenth, all schools and offices will be closed on Wednesday, June 19th. Also, don't miss the Peoria Juneteenth Fest this Saturday at the Gwynn Family Aquatic Center beginning at 11 a.m. The celebration will include a pageant, health fair, bouncing houses, food vendors, community resources, and more. Thank you.
Ms. Ross.
Immunizations and physical reminder. Immunization and physicals are due by the first day of school, July 31st, for all incoming kindergartners, 6th grade, 9th grade, and 12th grade students. Please get a head start on making an appointment for your student.
Thank you.
Hey,
Summer
doc, I'm sorry, Dr. Ryan King. Can I
Yep.
say something real quick?
Yes.
I just wanted to make note that the Ernestine Jackson Freedom Day Parade is also on June 15th. Not sure if I heard that. Miss Ernestine will be honored at that parade that's hosted by the NAACP. That starts at 11 o'clock, and it kind of starts right at the Urban League where the Urban League is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's part of the Juneteenth celebration, right?
It is.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Summer reading. The Peoria Public Library Summer Reading Program launched today for the whole family. Each age group gets a unique bingo card full of reading-themed challenges. Fill your bingo to get fun prizes and parties. Go to peoriapubliclibrary.org/summer-reading to sign up. Don't forget to read at least 30 minutes every day. PPS Foundation Golf Outing. The 27th annual Peoria Public Schools Foundation Golf Outing will be taking place on Monday, June 24th at the Country Club of Peoria. This fundraiser is one of the largest put on by the PPS Foundation. And then one last announcement we have we have two of our new student board members here tonight with us. Tonight before our closed session, they had time with Dr. Karat. They learned all about what it means to be a student board member. They had a whole agenda that they went over with Dr. Karat, specifying expectations, reviewing how to read a board agenda, reviewing upcoming board dates, and kind of figuring out their rotation. They will be sitting here once the school year begins. They also were encouraged to apply for the 24-25 Student Advisory Council through the Illinois State Board of Education. So we will get a further introduction from them when they come up here at the beginning of the school year. But tonight, I just told them that they had to turn around and wave. They're very nervous. So we have Brooklyn Patterson from Peoria High School. And we have Sylvia Branscombe from Manual High School. They're just observing today, and then they'll be sitting up here with us throughout the rest of the board meetings for the 24-25 school year. So welcome. And Richards will be here too. They just weren't able to come tonight. So we will have Warda Elmi from Richwoods, who we will introduce at another board meeting. So with that, we are going to move on to awards and announcements. And I'm going to call up Dr. Clemens. Maybe? Yes. Hi. Principal of Glen Oak Community Learning Center.
And congratulations to Dr. Clemens as well. Like Dr. Greg Wilson, she has earned her doctorate, and we're very, very proud of her. Let's give her a nice round of applause. To Clemens.
Thank you.
Has a nice ring to it.
It does. Good evening, everyone. I did not want to end this school year without acknowledging my right hand, Officer Beverly Brown. I know, right? When I became actually an assistant principal 3 years ago, Officer Brown was one of the first faces that welcomed me. She is definitely the hardest working SRO that I have ever worked with. Her intuition and her relationships with our students are paramount. So I did not, like I said, I did not want to end the year. We start our day together as parents are dropping students off in the morning. We are outside and we're always having our morning talk. We end our day together. As students leave, we stand out and we make sure that all students have left the campus. But she is above amazing, and I just wanted her to know that.
Do you want to say anything, Officer Brown?
I was totally not expecting this. I thought I was coming to work. So I am truly honored for this, and none of this would be possible, like she said, without our everyday talks, our mentoring, my leadership from Chief Boone. And this is just not a me. This is also for my whole entire team.
Excellent. Anyone is here from Officer Brown's family, from her school family, or from her home family? Could you stand up so we can also recognize you, Glen Oak, or any of your family here? Come on, family. Awesome. Thank you so much, and congratulations. Both Julia Schaff and Linda Wilson are not able to be here tonight, so we are going to move on to the Community Contribution Award, and we're going to mix them up. We're going to move on to Dr. Karat for the Reginald Livingston Award.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rankin. I have had the pleasure of working with this individual for 9 years. July 1st will make it 10 years. And his name is Reggie Livingston, and he has been a positive force as it relates to uplifting and inspiring our students. He has been involved in projects at Franklin Primary, Lincoln Middle School. I remember he brought his son, Sean Livingston, and his wife to read to the kids at Lincoln's many years ago, about 5 or 6 years ago. But he does any and everything to promote and support Peoria Public Schools. He is a graduate of Peoria High School and is very, very passionate about supporting his school, and he just loves, for him, it's all about the kids and wanting them to be successful. And we know his son is very, very successful, and he always, I think, encourages his son. He's raised him very well to give back to the young people in the city of Peoria, and I have witnessed it with my own very eyes. 2 years ago, he was instrumental in starting the Sean and Reggie Livingston Foundation Black History program at Peoria High School. And those of you who have not experienced it, I will make sure you're invited, because it is amazing and very encouraging, uplifting. And it also gives, like, he had Chris Reynolds as the speaker last year, and Chris did an amazing job for him. It was amazing, and Sean spoke as well. Sean Livingston spoke as well. During the Black History event, he provided scholarship funding, he provided laptops and gift cards, along with, again, incredible entertainment, again, with encouraging guest speakers. The Sean and Reggie Livingston Foundation created the weight room at Peoria High School. I don't know if you've seen it, but it is pretty impressive and state of the art weight room, and it's helped many students develop their skills so that they can have an opportunity to earn scholarships, and many of them have. Additionally, they have recently purchased 20 new Apple laptops and gave them to the top 20 students at Peoria High School to help them prepare for college. I think Mrs. McConnell was there as well, but that was a really nice event. Along with his financial generosity, when asked, he is willing to be a mentor and a very, very good listener. So, Mr. Livingston, on behalf of the board, Peoria High, and myself, we appreciate you so much for all that you have done for Peoria Public Schools. And so, in honor of your continued generosity, we will present you with this award. So he doesn't know this. Where is Mr. Livingston? Come on, okay. Halima, do we have an award for Mr. Livingston? Awesome. I'm coming. I love this guy, and he's so inspiring, and he motivates me as well. Love you, Mr. Livingston. Thank you for all that you're doing just from your heart. So it's just a little token of our appreciation. I like your shirt. Thank you. Halima says she likes your shirt.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. Livingston, as they're taking the picture, thank you so much for all of your contributions, your time, your monetary contributions to this district.
May I I say something?
Yeah, go for it.
And Mr. Livingston, I just want to personally thank you for all the times that I've been at the building and the kids talk about Mr. Livingston this. And so you are very impactful. You have changed lives of so many young people for the last 15 years, and we are eternally grateful for your sacrifices. Thank you.
Next up, we're going to invite Deb LaHood.
Good evening.
I feel like lots of people are getting surprised tonight.
I know. She's like, what's going on?
Good to see you. Well, we were honoring Mr. Livingston and for his dedication and work he provides for Peoria Public Schools. We also thought that it would be amazing time and opportunity to recognize another person also who plays a vital role in the work Mr. Livingston and the Livingston Foundation represents. This award is a Community Contribution Award, and it is being presented tonight to Miss Marilyn Woods. Marilyn is a teacher at Peoria High School, where she also attended high school just a few short years ago with me. She's a catalyst to the organization and a huge part of the Livingston Foundation, where she's been the conduit between the foundation and the district. She works very closely with Superintendent Dr. Karat, whether it is bringing new ideas to our district, looking, providing, or supporting resources and or opportunities for our students in schools, heading the new girls flag football team, creating clubs, sewing clubs, playing a very instrumental part in our programs, especially our Black History program. Marilyn has done all of this and so much more with an outstanding enthusiasm, dedication, and utmost optimistic attitude. So tonight, we really want to let you, Marilyn, know that we see all your efforts and hard work you put forth. We feel the difference you make for our schools and our students' lives, and we want to give you a heartfelt thank you for all you do. It's an honor to present the Community Contribution Award.
And Mr. McGinnis, this is your school, so would you like to make some comments also?
So I really snuck in, didn't plan any remarks, but on the way here, I was just thinking about, if you guys don't know this, I grew up with Sean. Our names are spelled exactly the same. Dr. Karat was one of our assistant principals at Roosevelt, so the community and all that goes really, really far back. So when I think about Sean and think about how great of an athlete he is, right? A lot of people see the points scored and the assist and all that, but when I think about him as an athlete, I think about all the hard work that he put in when we were younger. He made the 8th grade team when we were in 4th grade. Like, that's absolutely unbelievable, but it was because of the hard work that he put in along with that same group of kids, because they were together from the time we were kindergartners all the way until they were in 12th grade. And Mr. Livingston is probably the most humble man I've seen. He's around the hallways at Peoria High, but he's not in your face. You know, he's there just to be there with the kids. And with Miss Woods, I've gotten to know her so much over the last 2 years. And she is at every community event you can imagine. She is hard-nosed, education, all the time in the classroom. But then you get to see her at a volleyball game where she's refereeing, and she is a character boy. So I love the two of them, and I thank them so much for all they do for the community.
Thank you so much.
I just want to say congratulations to Ms. Wood. Are you there?
She's okay.
But also, what most people don't know is she's one of the best cooks I've ever known.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And she just has done so much for children. I've been trying to get in touch with you and let you know I have 2 sewing machines in case you are still doing that sewing program for you. And Mr. Livingston, thank you for producing such a great son. He has, for the last 2.5 years helped us at SCUC employ young people, in the programs during the summer.
Your neighborhood association.
Our SCUC, our neighborhood association, actually is a conglomerate of all the associations on the south side. So thank you, sir.
Thank you and congratulations to you both. We are going to move on again to Dr. Crott for most improved attendance for May.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rankin. And it was really interesting this morning. We had a meeting with individuals from the United States Department of Education, and they were in Washington, D.C., and they were asking us a lot of questions. Really, they were evaluating this Illinois State Board of Education's process, and they picked a few districts and picked Peoria Public Schools. And of course, we gave them very glowing remarks. But Ms. Rogers, one of the things that came up, chronic absenteeism and attendance and those sorts of things. And it's a hot topic. And so for us at our board meetings, we recognize the schools. All of the schools are, attendance, the district's goal is 95% attendance for every school. And then we've been doing that for about 9 years. Every school has a plan and so forth. But we've gotten smarter and better at our work, and we're really pushing chronic absenteeism. So when we talked to them, we were able to share all of the things that we were doing, and they were very impressed and excited to hear what we were doing. So I'm pleased today to identify 3 buildings that have risen to the top regarding the progress that they have made this May compared to last May, and as it relates to most improved attendance. And we know all the research and the why and so forth, but I wanted to turn it over to Mrs. Rogers. They have, and Shannon from research sent me the numbers. And Ms. Rogers, please come up to the microphone. You have Elise Fort Allen is in first place because almost 6%. You've increased from last year, May of 2023 to May of 2024. Your attendance that is like truly significant.
It is.
So congratulations
Thank
to you and your team, and I'll
To
turn
my
this
team.
over. Yes.
Thank you. I think the biggest word that in my response would be to our team, right? Because attendance is everyone working the plan. So a shout out to not only my team, but also to our fabulous coaches, Dr. Simpson and Mrs. Sanphilip, who work with us each month in tracking that information. So we do have from buy-in from the students, working with parents, and working with our school staff, really to recognize who are the students, what do we have in place for them, what supports do they need. So laying all that out in the plan, reevaluating the plan, and sticking to it, I think has really been the key to success this year. I do have to give a shout out to Coach K. He's our our family core liaison, and he works tirelessly to get our students to school in the morning. He gives them rides home. He meets with parents. He has really, we call him a dog with a bone. Like he really tracks that information and helps support our families. So we appreciate it. And we also just got our most recent data from Dr. Simpson and Mrs. Sanphilip that we decreased from last year overall 12% overall in chronic absenteeism.
Wow,
That's awesome.
that is, let's celebrate.
Yeah.
You let me know how you guys want to celebrate, okay? All right. Congratulations. Do you have your team with you? Dr. Rankin, I'm sorry, that's your
No,
role,
you're
guys.
fine. Yeah, if the team from Elise Fort Allen is here, stand up so we can recognize you also. Just the two of you.
Can you take a picture of them outside, please, when you get a chance? Thank you. So the second, Sterling Middle School, second place, and they have, is Miss Lane here? Here you are. I love you, Miss Lane. She has also increased her attendance from last May to this year, 3.9%. Congratulations. Let's give Sterling Middle School. Talking about a dog with a bone, that's Miss Lane as well.
I try. Thank you for recognizing us. I have to give it to my team as well. Similar to what Laura had said, it really is a team effort. It takes all of us. We took a lot of initiatives that Dr. Simpson and Cheryl Sanfilip had given. We put teams together in place on students who were kind of at that yellow area of 10 to 16 absences to make sure that they did not go into the red, and kind of were competitive at Sterling for numerous things. And so tried to make it kind of a game. We also did a survey of all of the students. What is it that they wanted to earn that would kind of inspire them to get them to school each and every day? And then we did drawings according to what incentives they wanted to get, so it was more student buy-in and allowed student voice, which we did see a big increase with that.
Oh, nice.
Parents were excited, students were excited. So that next year we have some different things in place that we're going to kick off just for things that we have learned that have worked or maybe not worked, and really making sure that we're looking at that data and targeting those students early on. With the Because We Care walks early on, but also, putting a champion in place so that we can make sure that we have all of our students that may have attendance issues in the past be taken care of, and have a champion and form teams early on so that we can make sure that we have every student every day at school.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
And is anyone from Sterling Middle School here with Ms.
They are
Lane?
not, but I
Oh,
will say that our chronic absenteeism dropped 9%.
Excellent.
Yeah, wow. Lane, Miss Lane, for next year, if you need any help with your items for your drawing, let us know, okay? Well, just for you guys come in tonight. I know you're off. Technically, you guys should be on vacation. You guys still came nevertheless. So we'll make sure you're rewarded.
You're like, oh wait.
Well, you're supposed to celebrate whatever you guys want to. Yeah, so hers is the drawing. Yes. You missed yours. Dr. Rankin. Oh, that's me.
One
more. Is Manuel here? They've been here for the last, Dr. Hassan, you'll represent Manuel? Thank you, Doc. So Manuel's.
What's she gonna get for free?
Increase nothing. She's not here. But she has been, they're doing a great job. She's been recognized maybe the last 4 or 5 meetings by 8.9%. So that's nice.
Actually, today would make the 7th time.
The 7th. Thank you, Dr. Hassan.
And
That's pretty impressive.
Completion. So Manuel has worked very closely with Dr. Bush this year. And in that effort, overall, their chronic absenteeism dropped by 9%. And with that, they really focused on doing like buy-ins every month. And that really helped to improve the school culture. You can just see the students they're focusing on being students, but it's still like that time where you're young in your life and it's a good time. So they're enjoying high school as well. In addition to that, they've really been focusing on the data every week, looking at the data, making sure that it's what it should be and cleaned up. So that focus on both like students specifically, calling them in, speaking with them one-on-one, finding out what's going on, what can they do more of. So it's really been a well-rounded effort of working with the data, but working with the students as a whole and individually.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
proud of the work that Ms. Hawks is doing. And I know if she were here, she'd say, it's good to be around.
Is anybody from Manual here? Stand up. We can recognize.
A nurse, yes. And actually, anything she asks for, she gets it. So they do get stuff.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much, and congratulations to all 3 of those schools.
I was just saying Ms. Irvin is retiring after over 30 years of service to Manual.
Oh, then you're the nurse. Yes. Congratulations.
So let's have nurse make some remarks. Actually, she was my nurse at Whittier. She went to school with your children. I was her son's principal. She has been with us for many, 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 many years. Very quiet, but very, very loved by the children, whether it's at primary level. And how many years were you at Manual, nurse?
15, 16 years at Manual.
Wow.
and then 3 additional years at several schools, and then 6 years at Roosevelt. So,
Well,
I've been here a
congratulations and
long
thank you for
time.
all of your time. Yes.
Okay, you're welcome.
She can hold the attendance one, right?
She makes sure the students are well so that they can be in attendance.
That's right.
Then I ask her about the kids.
And I know we are going to recognize the other retirees later, so don't worry, you are still on the schedule. It's just that we have a couple representations from Manual tonight.
This is nurse. We're recognizing nurse.
You're like, wait a minute. And as they're finishing up that picture, we're gonna move on to the student showcase. And I think that you're gonna for the attendance, you're gonna take that picture maybe outside on one of the sides. I'm gonna invite up Dr. Clemens again for the student showcase. Dr. Clemens, yes, you're still here. Hi.
Alrighty, and I am honored. And actually, I think I'm going to have Michael's family come up with me because this award is truly, it takes a village. And so
She's calling y'all up. Come on.
yeah, because I can't even say that this was all me. I think I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And Michael was able to be introduced to the right people at the right time. His mother and I had several conversations during their stint at Glen Oak. But I don't even know if I can tell you how proud I am of him. And I am so glad that he is getting this opportunity to shine. Because I've seen him some days when I'm just driving around when he was at Glen Oak, and he'd be running, around the community, just trying to stay in shape. And so I'm going to give this to Mr. Bell, because Mr. Bell and I've had several conversations about him as well. But I am truly, I'm so proud of you.
And Mr. Bell, maybe you can talk about your boxing club and what you do. Mr. Bell is his coach as well, and so that's pretty amazing what you've done and what you're doing with the young children for Peoria.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Robert Bell. I'm from Michigan. I came to Peoria, I made a promise that I won't leave Peoria until we get a world champion out of Peoria. Michael had been in and out, school. You know how I go with young brothers. I refused to give up on Michael. Very talented, very, very bright individual. But sometimes we get caught up in the streets. I once was that kid. So I knew not to ever give up on him. When I started training boxing here, I realized that it's a tool to actually save lives. It's a place where kids can come. I'm in there 24/7. That's my job now. My job is being in the gym, giving these kids a place to come where they don't have to be in the street. I want to thank Friendship for allowing me to have a space to be able to practice my talents and discover talents and have these young brothers and men to come and knowing that they somewhere safe. It's been a struggle. It's not easy. Everybody know how it goes. But I'm willing to fight and keep fighting for what's best for not only these young men standing here, but Peoria as well, the whole city. I want to thank each and every last one of y'all for accepting me first and foremost. It's hard coming from another state, another city, and do what I'm doing. I've been around the world. I've been to a lot of places where I'm not accepted. But for you guys to embrace and show me love, I really appreciate it, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Excellent.
And I will be here until we get that world champion. We close. But Michael, I got to give him the most credit because he fought. He was one of the kids that they doubted. He was doubted. I mean, oh, he's not going to do this. He ain't going to this. He's going to quit. He's not going to do that. Well, yeah, he quit, came back, he quit, came back, he quit, came back, he quit, he came back. I kept that door open for Michael. And this is the result.
Let's see that belt. Congratulations on being the Golden Glove winner. If anybody else is here from Maikos' family, if you want to stand up, or any teachers who have taught Maikos along the way, if you want to stand up and we can recognize you, it takes a village.
Yes. And with that being said, I want to say this. He is the first to win a Golden Glove after so many years in Peoria, Illinois.
Maikos, do you want to say anything? Or, no? You don't have to. I'm just offering. You don't have to.
Thank y'all.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. We have the event coming up July the 28th. July the 28th at the end of the month. Which all of you can come out and see some new talent that we have. These guys are new. They only been in the gym for about a month, and we're going to showcase them as well. So if you can guys come out, it's going to be held at the Expo Gardens on July the 28th. Please come.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next up, we're going to call up Mr. Cruzen, the athletic director at Richwoods.
Mr. Bell, when you get a chance, send that flyer for us. So send it to me, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And then we'll, yep, thank you.
And yep, the girls wrestling team, you can also come up with him.
All right, good evening. My name is Jeff Cruzen. I'm the athletic director at Richwoods High School. And standing behind me, we've got the representation from the Richwoods girls wrestling team. So, since girls wrestling became an official IHSA sport during the 2021-22 school year, the Richwoods girls wrestling team has been at the forefront of the competition, not just locally, but at the state level as well. So it's still an individual sport in the eyes of the IHSA, but unofficially, the Richwoods girls wrestling team has multiple podium finishes. I think, would you say second place the first year, an 8th place and a 7th place finish. So they've been kind of at the forefront. You find girls on the podium at the state finals in Bloomington. So during this past season, we had wrestlers that placed 2nd and 3rd. In the first season in 2021-22, one of those same wrestlers placed 2nd. And in both of those seasons, Jada is the only girl that has been named to the Peoria Journal-Star All-Area team, which is a team full of boys, plus Jada. So that's pretty cool. On top of that, I think one thing that Coach Penny is probably most proud of is the fact that quite a few wrestlers, including Kylie, who's back there, have gone on to wrestle in college. So that's kind of a mark of a successful high school athletic program, that you're giving kids opportunities beyond what they're doing at high school. So Coach Penny, Coach Owens, ladies, keep up the great work, and we're proud. And Coach Bear, sorry, yes. And we ran the sectional tournament this year, and that's a ton of work, and Coach Bear did a lot to make sure that could run as smoothly as it did. So we appreciate that. So thanks, guys.
Yes, congratulations to all of you. Yeah. And if there's any families here with them, please stand up so we can also recognize you. Stand up. I know you can. There you go. I want a picture. I do have to say, my son is a wrestler at Richwoods, and so I follow you girls on the Facebook page for wrestling, and I love watching it. Like, girl power, you guys are rocking it. So awesome, and congratulations, and keep up the great work.
And one thing to note, Coach also runs a kids wrestling program that goes all the way down to the age of 5. So you're a little older than 5. But there's an opportunity for those kids to get started and learn the sport.
Awesome. Coach Penny, would you like to say anything? Would you like to say anything?
Yeah, I would. Been doing this a long time, been in district 31 years teaching. Been a coach in the district for 31 years. The girls program was finally accepted, and we've been a big part of that, Coach Owens, Ms. Bear, since 8 years ago when we started a kids program. And a sign of a quality program, I think, is how many individuals are going to college and actually getting paid to be an athlete. And we are 3 for 3 of those who wanted to go to college could go for free on scholarship, which is pretty impressive. We've had 14 state qualifiers in 3 years and 5 state placers. So
awesome.
We've had a really good run, and I have to thank the administration, central administration, building administration, and obviously the parents. And we couldn't do it without these quality wrestlers because they work their butts off, and we do appreciate them. But thank you very much. We appreciate being acknowledged.
Awesome. Congratulations. I'm sure that they're going to want a picture. So I think she's going out to that way to get a picture with you also. Thank you so much.
And I think she's getting some medals for them as well.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. We're going to move on to district presentations. Dr. Ike, you're up. Oh, and Jerry, Mrs. Hammer is going to be with him.
Good evening, Vice President Rankin, members of the board, Dr. Karat. So every year around this time, the district honors those who are retiring from the district after giving so much of their time and effort to the district. They have come to the end of their work. And before I continue, do we have any retirees in the audience attending tonight? Okay, can you stand up? Thank you for coming, and when the videos roll, you get to see yourself in the videos as well. So thank you for being here as well. Before you go, we do have a T-shirt for each of you that attended in person too. Okay, district T-shirt. So, so on behalf of the Board of Education and Administration, Mrs. Hammer and I are honored to recognize the retirees who are retiring from this school year, the year that just ended. A few of them are also watching on the YouTube, as they could not make it here today. But this school year marks another year that employees are giving it their all in serving the school district. So the district appreciates all of you for being wonderful district employees. If we were toasting you at a party, obviously we would say you've done a wonderful job and we pray for you to have a wonderful time in retirement. Now, your departure is a bittersweet. The bitter part of it is the fact that you're leaving all your relationships that you've built and all the good work that you've done. The sweet part of it is that you're moving on to go and do what you wish to do at your own time. No more alarm clocks, right? You can wake up whenever you want. So as you go on to retirement, there's one professor at Cornell University who, when he was retiring, was boasting about his time in the job. He said that he's leaving his position to allow less able and less experienced people to replace him. So as you're leaving, you can boast that when you leave, less able and less experienced people will replace you while you go on to have a wonderful life. So we thank you very much. We hope you will enjoy every minute of your retirement. And we say, may you have more fun in retirement than you had while you were working. May you live long and healthy life post-retirement, and may you succeed and prosper in any future endeavor you choose to pursue. And that's at this point, I want to invite the audience to give you another round of applause. My colleague, Jerry Hammer, who's the Director of Employee Services, will now come in and give you some fun facts about those who are retiring. Number of people, number of years. It's a lot of years of experience that's walking out the door. And I know that after that, Mrs. Sappel will run through the video for us. Mrs. Hammer?
Hello. Some fun facts for our 23-24 retirees this year. We had 4 administrators, 3 certified, 1 non-certified. We have 31 certified teachers and social workers retired this year, and 16 non-certified, which brought us to 51 actual retirees for this year. With the highest served for administration was 30 years of service out of 1. For a certified was 36 years of service, and for a non-certified was 37 years of service, for a total of altogether of 1,241 and a half years of service to Peoria Public Schools. We have a video of everyone and their pictures and what their last position was.
And when the video is complete, we would like all the retirees who are here to please get your picture taken. So once this is completed, if we're going to move out to that way again and have our picture taken with the retirees who came this evening.
And thank you all.
Congratulations. Will all the retirees just come out for a second?
And retirees, before you leave, congratulations, enjoy retirement, and I think it speaks volumes for how the longevity of every single person that was on that screen. We have people who have been here for, most of you have been here for double-digit years, so congratulations, and thank you for being a part of our family here at PPS. So,
Because they showed up,
take a photo,
yeah,
yep.
before we take a photo, I want them to announce their name, position, number of years in school.
Eddie Washington, custodian, 30 and a half years.
Norma Clemens, 34 years.
Francine Williamson, 10 years, although it didn't say the right school. I was at Von Steuben.
Congratulations.
Misty Brooks, 34 years at CT Vivian.
Linda Irwin, school nurse at Manual, and then 3 additional years at several schools.
Todd Hersey, 33 years, all at Richwoods High School.
Excellent. And we got a couple over here we missed.
Susan Johnson, 34 years of special education at Valeska Hinton.
Mary Lou Kemper, 31 years in the district, Roosevelt, Greeley, and 13 at Franklin.
Excellent. Congratulations, and again, sorry, thank you for all your time in the district. Go for it, Dr. Ike.
All right, no, I was going to say thank you all very much for coming, and we'll go outside and do the picture, right, Elima?
Yes.
And your T-shirts are waiting over here. Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Ike, you and Miss Hammer can take a picture with them. That'd be great.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
Okay.
And their families are here as well.
Oh, yeah, and families, if you're here, stand up, because,
Yes.
it takes a lot of dedication to be married to someone in the education field. Next up, we have Dr. Corey Molson with the Ron Clark Academy team. Is Dr. Corey Molson here?
Yes.
Oh, there she is. I was like, you're not sitting over here.
She's so one of the teachers.
Can we lower the lights a little bit? Thank you. Thank you. All right. Good evening, Vice President Rankin, Superintendent Dr. Karat, distinguished board members. We have an exciting presentation for you tonight. Our team here just got back from visiting the Ron Clark Academy in Atlanta, Georgia last week. And so you may know about the Ron Clark Academy, you may not know, so I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it so you can see just what a special opportunity this was. And it's kind of cool that we just had our retirees, because this group that went to the academy were our new teachers who just completed their first year of teaching with PPS. So, Michelle. All right, so who got to go on this amazing trip? This was part of our new teacher vacancy grant. We wrote this into the grant to be able to do some really innovative and fun professional development with our new teachers. So we have 15 new teachers here. There was an application process. It was open to all new teachers in the district. They wrote essays and kind of talked about why they would find this trip meaningful. And we were able to select one teacher from every school that turned in applications. And we also had a few administrators with us. Jamie Peterson from Keller Primary, Kim Sack from Northmore Primary, and Laura Rogers from Elise Ford Allen. In the fall, we do have a number of our administrators going over fall break as well to the academy for their administrative academy, a different kind of PD than what we did that day. So real quick, I'd like our team just to introduce themselves so that you know who is here. They all wanted to come, but not all could make it. But for those who are here, if you'll just say your name and your school.
I'm Phyllis Livin, teach first grade at Elise Ford Allen.
Laura Rogers, principal, the Elise Ford Allen Academy. Sarah Napoli, I work at Keller Primary. Mackenzie Schroeder, I'm first grade at Northmore Primary. Charlotte Stone, first grade at Northmore as well.
I'm Josiah Lohr, I'm music at Dr. Maud Sanders Primary.
I'm Shannon Schmidt, I teach high school at Richwoods.
That's part of our team that went with Ron Clark. So who is Ron Clark? Just in case anybody doesn't know, I'll kind of give you a little background on how this great place came to be. So Ron Clark and Kim Bearden, who are the co-founders of the Academy, are two of the world's best teachers and were named Disney Teachers of the Year in the year 2000. While on her show, that's something Oprah did, was bring the Disney teachers on. They also got to go to the White House and meet President Barack Obama. While on her show, Oprah Winfrey really encouraged Ron Clark to write a book about his Essential 55. So these are skills which help educators to bring out the best in their students. So, you know, when Oprah tells you to write a book, you write a book, and he did. Essential 55 was published, that is backwards. It was published in 2003 and revised in 2019. It quickly became #2 in sales in the nation, second to Harry Potter at the time. Then in 2006, a movie was released, The Ron Clark Story, starring Matthew Perry. If you have not seen it, it is highly inspirational. It's about his classroom that he taught in Harlem and kind of how he built relationships and how he got through to kids to take them to rigorous levels of learning. He made so much money off that book that he called his friend Kim that he had met and said, hey, let's open a school. They had talked about and dreamed about opening an innovative school. And they opened their school in Atlanta, Georgia in 2007. It is not only an innovative and amazing place they have about 140 middle school students, 4th through 8th graders, but it also really serves as a training ground for educators around the world. 75% of the students are on scholarship to attend the Academy. It is a nonprofit organization, and the proceeds support student scholarships and programs. They do a lot of mission work as well. Over 80,000 educators have visited the Academy to observe. So it truly is a gift to be able to go and meet the one and only Ron Clark and Kim Bearden. And we actually had the pleasure of bringing Kim Bearden here in February. She was a speaker for all new teachers and their mentors. And so you walk in and you're thinking, wow, this is a school, right? It kind of looks like Hogwarts. There's dragons flying and house teams and a lot of really cool, unique places and spaces for kids that don't look like your normal classrooms. I've been through a lot of PD in my 25 years. This was the most immersive learning experience I've ever been a part of. Probably one of the best professional development experiences I've ever seen. They have a number of different opportunities, but this one, Ron Clark Academy Experience, teaches us ways to promote student engagement, increase academic rigor, and create a culture and climate that promotes student success. And the way that they do that is by teaching, right? So we get to be participants in the classroom, sit in the classroom and watch the teachers interacting with their students and how they do different things to take students to just a very, very high level of rigor like I have never seen. It's pretty cool that Ron Clark and Kim Bearden, as the co-founders, executive directors, and principals of the school, also are teachers every single day in that school. So that's pretty neat as well. All right, Dylan is up next.
Hello. So a core pillar of the Ron Clark Academy is, sorry, I've never spoken to one of these before. Sorry, so a core pillar of the Ron Clark Academy is a culture of learning and high expectations. The school is very rigorous. These photos of me up there, I'm working with a 5th grader on an algebra problem. I want to say I'm helping her. She's really helping me. Like, I probably haven't done math like that since like 9th grade, so she's a 5th grader. And it was just incredible to see. We were in their social studies class. They were doing work that it literally said on the board for 10th grade, but they were 6th graders, 7th graders. There's just a very high expectation for all the students. So Ron Clark, on the first day we were there, said, the reason for my success is he's always planned his lessons for the highest achiever in his class. He scaffolds and differentiates for the students that might need more support, but overall his lessons are geared towards the highest learner in his class, as are all of his teachers at his academy. And it's very obvious when you step into the classroom and you see the rigor and what these kids are accomplishing. They're very much with the attitude, these kids can do the work, so they will do the work. But they do infuse joy into all of their learnings. So their systems and their structures and their routines all have fun infused, all have music infused. They're up on the tables. The classrooms look like Harry Potter and Star Wars, and there's smoke machines. But the kids are so excited to be there and learn that even though it is a lot of grand things, you can just tell at the end of the day they're just happy to be at school, which is ultimately what you want. And they do have these two really big slides that are only for 8th graders, we learned, so it's sort of like a rite of passage. When you get to the end of your time beat at the school, you can take the slide down instead of the stairs. But we all got slide certified, and I guess this is a video of one of our teachers, Molly, getting certified.
Hi, I'm Sarah Napoli again from Keller. I'm in charge of talking about house teams. As educators, we all know that Maslow's hierarchy of needs. To succeed as human beings, we must have their basic needs met, along with feeling safe and secure. Before we can succeed and reach self-actualization, we must feel loved and have a sense of belonging as well. The Ron Clark Academy House System was established to promote this sense of belonging, school spirit, pride, and community for all students, families, and staff. The house system fosters social and emotional growth while establishing a positive climate and culture. At the Ron Clark Academy, much like Hogwarts from Harry Potter, every student is sorted into a house. Staff, on the other hand, get to choose the house that resonates with them the most. The house system is like a fraternity or sorority. You're in this house for the duration. The students don't get to choose, rather they are assigned a new adoptive family of big brothers, big sisters, and house parents upon entering the school. It gives everyone a sense of belonging and helps them to feel like they are part of something special. 4 houses, 1 family. Al Turismo, Revere, Amistad, and Isvendi. Each house has its own color, crest, animal, nation of heritage, history, and more. Ron Clark mentioned that the house system makes doing the right thing cool. Students are celebrated for their efforts through a process that builds character, empowers academic excellence, fosters school spirit, enhances relationships, and promotes a culture of belonging for all. House Points, as you can see on the board, they have a very, very cool system. House Points encourage students to lead by example and gives teachers the opportunity to set a precedent. Everyone wants to win, and the house system promotes healthy, positive competition. Disparaging other houses is strictly forbidden. Every year, the house with the most points earns its name on the wall, and the end of the year celebration is decorated in the winning house colors.
There's the wheel that they get to spin.
So I'm here to talk about, as first-year teachers, which most of us here are, what was our experience going to Ron Clark and what did we get out of it? Because that's pretty much the most important thing about going to something like that. So as most of you have probably been teachers before, you understand your first year can kind of feel like you're drowning and just trying to stay alive the whole time. So it takes until the end of the year for you to really look back and reflect and decide how you want to handle the next year. So as teachers in our first year, going to Ron Clark was a really great opportunity to be able to see what is education at its finest. We got taught in school, like, this is how it should be in a classroom, this is best practice, but all of that is only theoretical until you have the time
to see people actually put it into practice. And that's what Ron Clark Academy does. Pretty much everything that you've ever been taught about and told this is the best for education, they actually achieve it. One of the main things, you can go to the next slide, please. One of the main things they focus on there is something called the 1%. So what that is, again, as the first year teachers, it's really difficult to probably maintain 100% constantly. So what they focus on is finding one thing that you can do 1% better. All their teachers at the beginning of the year have to make a list of 10 things that they can do 1% better. Some examples of that, perhaps the secretary of the school greets people at the door when they come in. It makes the parents feel welcomed. It makes the school feel like a better place. Some of the teachers might take the time on a Friday to call 5 parents and say what a great job their child's doing. Things that take you little to no effort out of your day, but are going to make the classroom and the school 10 times better experience. So that's something that as first year teachers, I think we can all say that we're probably going to bring back not only to our own teaching, but also to our school. Next slide, please. And then one of the most fun things we got to do while we were there is attend what's called the Tacky Prom. They throw one of these at every RCA experience that they have. And what this was, it was a really fun event where we got to hang out with the teachers at RCA, with each other. But after being there for a couple days, I really realized that this is what they're talking about creating an environment where people feel welcome, where they feel happy and they want to be there. One of the other main takeaways I thought of as a first year teacher was how important it is to build those up that are around you. So that's what Tacky Prom kind of did. It made us take a second to slow down and be with the ones that we came with and have a good time and make sure that we were actually lifting each other up and not being negative when we're trying to get better as first year teachers. So thank you.
Hi. I am going to talk to you a little bit about, so how does this translate, right? So, I'm a lion. I'm Team Isabindi, and which means courage in Zulu. And so what makes it so special? So as I said up here, I was inspired by the amazing, hardworking teachers. So this is really what we need in education: teachers that elevate the profession, and ideally make the first year teachers say, "I want to be that teacher." So one of my key takeaways were how they live their founding principles every day. So they have a shared mission, they have a shared vision. It is constantly visible. You can see it, you can feel it, you are ingrained in it, and it does not stray. Every teacher has the same mission. Every single teacher will tell you, from the art teacher, Ms. CJ, all the way to Ron Clark himself, they teach to the highest student in their class. They stretch their students. They build meaningful, solid relationships with the students using so many different ways, and most of them cost zero money. I don't want you to be misled by the fact, oh, it's like this because of the decorations. It's like this because of the fog machines. It's like this. No, it's like this because Ron Clark spent several years, and it continues to do this. He has recruited the brightest teachers. It is number one, the teacher factor in this school. They have made the experiences for the students on the daily so powerful. I was able to pull a few teachers aside and just have conversations with them, and they said, we do so much intentional planning surrounding what we're teaching the students, how we're teaching the students, how we're engaging the students. And it doesn't just come from songs and chants. Yes, that's how some of the tools they use to engage students, but they themselves make each lesson so powerful. And the students, when I'd ask the students, oh, do you have a favorite teacher? And they said, one student said to me, okay, do you mean a favorite subject or a favorite teacher? Which was interesting to me. And I said, either one. Okay, well, my favorite subject on how I'm taught is this. My favorite teacher that I'm close with is in my house. And so just that little conversation, and this was a fourth grader. The ownership, one of my favorite quotes, I have a whole book of notes here, but no. So Bonner, Michael Bonner. So, it's in my other notebook. But he just talks about every child, every day. You have to be on. Every child, every day, expect you to deliver for them. So for me, that was a huge takeaway. And then how does that translate? So obviously taking copious notes, but then having those conversations even with the first year teachers at dinner, on the plane, or just in different locations about, okay, so how does this translate and what does this look like? Because you cannot cut and paste. It is not, it's not a turnaround training. It is something that, okay, so we have seen now the best of the best. So how do you elevate? And putting a plan together to elevate. I'd like to thank Peoria Public Schools for the opportunity to go. It is, I've had a lot of opportunities for professional development in my over 20 years here at Peoria Public Schools, and this was by far and away the exemplar of educators, the exemplar. I have not seen or experienced anything that even comes close to this. So thank you.
Thank you. More? Dr. Moulton? Are we good?
Almost.
Okay.
Okay, actually, we go back to just that one slide. I just wanted to mention, one thing that stood out also to us is the student leadership that they instill, which I think is one of those things that we can easily lift quickly. The students are so well spoken and they are interacting with the adults that come to visit at all times. And so these were just examples of students leading the way throughout our time there. And that really stood out as something that we could do easily. And again, just thank you so much. That was really our point in all wanting to come here tonight. It was just to thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. I'm so glad you guys got the opportunity. I'm as a lifelong educator and being around as a first year teacher when Ron Clark came out with those Essential 55 in 2003, I'm so jealous. I'm glad you all got to do it. And I'm so glad that it was such a great opportunity for you all. So thank you for sharing.
Yes. Thank you so much. And hopefully you'll take it back to your buildings and share what you've learned as well. And you guys did an amazing job. Thank you. I'm inspired. And I love what you've learned in terms of, teaching to the highest, teaching to the highest. And it just so happened, I'm sorry, board, it just will be done by 8. It just so happened while you were there, and I invited the board also to attend Ken Williams' Ruthless Equity, and he talked about the same thing. I don't know if you guys heard that as well.
We were having, so my teacher, we were getting texts when we were there, so he is, we're doing he's coming back.
Like an independent thing for you all.
Yes,
Awesome.
yes, it was the same message, teaching at grade level or higher. So that's our challenge for the 24-25 school year. Thank you.
And I encourage you all to, even though you're first year teachers, have your voice. You can have a voice in your school and really share this information and be a leader in your school with this stuff. So thank you so much for sharing. Yes, thank you. So we don't have any presentation by audience. So we're going to skip number 8. We're going to skip number 9, as long as that's okay with Dr. Karat. And I'm going to move on to number 10. Can I have a motion for the approval of minutes from April 22nd, 2023? Cammie, I think that's a mistype. Is it April 22nd, 2024? Okay, so can I have an approval for minutes for April 22nd, 2024? As amended, yep, okay. And
Second.
Madam Secretary, please call roll.
Mrs. Costick? Mr. Claus? Mrs. McConnell?
Aye.
Dr. Rankin?
Aye.
Mrs. Ross? Dr. Wilson?
Aye.
We have 6 ayes. Motion carries.
Thank you. Now on to the information item, superintendent update. Dr. Krat.
So I
let's use the Ron Clark as my update. Things are going very, very well.
Things are going very, very well. The state superintendent asked for an update regarding Quest. I sent that to you as well over the weekend. And again, congratulations to Dr. Greg Wilson and Dr. Clemens.
Awesome.
We're hiring, and this is, although the students are gone, staff, they're gone, but this is actually the busiest time of year for us. We're staffing and preparing for the upcoming school year, and summer school is in session, right, Dr. Hassan and Ms. Rose, and they're doing a very nice job. We have, about 1,000 students enrolled? Attending ESL and regular and Jameson, so we're just moving along.
Awesome.
Yep, thank you.
Number 2, financial update.
Year-to-date receipts through June 10th totaled $199.9 million. It's about 74.5% of budget. Typically, we're 74.75% of budget, so we're right on pace in terms of receipts. On the expenditure side, we're at $212.2 million. It's about 76.4% of budget. Typically, this time of year, we spend about 80% of budget. So it appears we're on pace to spend less than what we've budgeted in terms of expenditures. That concludes my budget update.
Any questions for Mr. Willis? Number 3, proposed expenditures over $2,500. Any questions? Number 4, Dr. Karat, report of requests under the Freedom of Information Act and status of such requests.
Thank you, Dr. Rankin. Since our board meeting on May 13th, we've received 1 new request. There were two pending requests noted on the 13th. Of those, 0 requests remains open. We have received 28 requests for this calendar year at a cost of $1,400. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And for the consent agenda, number 1, gifts to school district year-to-date, $119,077.09. Number 2, payment of bills. Number 3, payment for travel. Number 4, human resources report. Number 5, student school board members, approval of Brooklyn Patterson, Warda Elmy, and Sylvia Branscombe. Number 6, Verigy Guaranteed Energy Saving Contract approval for the Clean Bus Infrastructure Charging Stations Generator Solar Array and associated parking upgrades. Number 7, custodial supplies. Number 8, office supplies. Number 9, Mark Bill's roofing project. Number 10, Charter Oak roofing project. Number 11, approval for sale of surplus property. Number 12, critical benchmark home learning kits. Number 13, critical benchmark home learning materials. Number 14, iPad purchase. Number 15, ESL access resources. And number 16, MOU with the AFSCME Local 3716 and Transportation Administration. That concludes the consent agenda. Are there any that would be pulled for a separate vote?
Not pulled, but just a question about number 15. What is the cost and the funding source? The access resources?
Yeah, that's Ms. Rose. The funding source, are we using?
Title III money.
Title III money?
Okay,
And it's 16,800.
Yeah, we should have put that in there.
Thank you.
Are there any that would like to be pulled for a separate vote at this point? Can I have, you have a discussion, right? Yeah. Can I have a motion to approve the consent?
Second.
Ms. Ross, okay. Yep, for a discussion number 11.
Thank you.
Yes. There are like 3 or 4 vehicles, and then we have doors that we took out of at least Fort Allen. 40 or 50 doors, something like that. We replaced those. And so most of it, in terms of item count, are the doors. But there, in addition to that, are like three or 4 vehicles that are beyond the point of repair, where they're very old, parts are hard to get, all those kind of things.
So it says bidding, all these will be on auction, and what date is that?
once it's approved, our next step is to try to figure out a date, and a lot of that depends on who can we get to auction those things for us and when are they available. But once we lock that in, we'll publish all that information.
And we can send it to the board as well.
Yes,
Because I did
absolutely.
ask for it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Any other points of discussion? Madam Secretary, can you please call roll for approval of the consent agenda?
Mrs. Costick? Mr. Claus? Mrs. McConnell?
Aye.
Dr. Rankin?
Aye.
Mrs. Ross? Dr. Wilson?
Aye.
We have 6 ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Ms. McConnell, I believe you're on the policy committee?
Yes.
Okay, so the deliberation agenda, please.
So the number 17, policy number 2:105, didn't we pull this?
You approved it.
Okay. Policy number 2:105, the ethics and gift ban policy.
We have to do each of them, yep.
Right.
So can we have a motion?
Second.
Madam Secretary, can you please call roll for number 17?
Mrs. Costick? Mr. Claus? Mrs. McConnell?
Aye.
Dr. Rankin?
Aye.
Mrs. Ross? Dr. Wilson?
Aye.
We have 6 ayes, motion carries.
Okay, item 18, policy number 8:22, building rental, that the board approve the attached updated policy.
Can I have a motion? And a second?
Second.
Madam Secretary, can you please call roll for number 18?
Mrs. McConnell? I'm sorry, Mrs. Costick? Mr. Claus? Mrs. McConnell?
Aye.
Dr. Rankin?
Aye.
Mrs. Ross? Dr. Wilson?
Aye.
We have 6 ayes, motion carries.
Okay. Item 19, policy number 7:50, school admissions and student transfers, that the board approve the attached updated policy.
Madam Secretary, please call roll.
Mrs. Costick? Mr. Claus? Mrs. McConnell?
Aye.
Dr. Rankin?
Aye.
Mrs. Ross? Dr. Wilson?
Aye.
We have 6 ayes, the motion carries.
And item number 20, policy number 7:300, extra curricular athletics, and that the board approve the attached updated policy.
Madam Secretary, can you please call roll?
Mrs. Costick? Mr. Claus? Mrs. McConnell?
Aye.
Dr. Rankin?
Aye.
Mrs. Ross? Dr. Wilson?
Aye.
6 ayes, the motion carries.
Thank you. Ms. Ross, I believe you're on the the discipline committee, is that correct?
Yes.
Would you like to read the expulsion?
Okay.
Number 821, okay.
No, you can.
Expulsions, number 21, expulsions with the expulsions held in abeyance. Proposed action is that the Board of Education approve expulsions with the expulsions held in abeyance listed on the report dated June 10th, 2024 be approved as presented.
Second.
Madam Secretary, can you please call roll?
Mrs. Costick?
Aye.
Mr. Claus? Mrs. McConnell?
Aye.
Dr. Rankin?
Aye.
Mrs. Ross?
Aye.
Dr. Wilson?
Aye.
We have 6 ayes, the motion carries.
Number 22, expulsions. The proposed action is that the Board of Education approve the expulsion listed on the report dated June 10th, 2024 be approved as presented.
Second.
Madam Secretary, can you please call roll?
Mrs. Costick?
Aye.
Mr. Claus? Mrs. McConnell?
Aye.
Dr. Rankin?
Aye.
Mrs. Ross?
Aye.
Dr. Wilson?
Aye.
We have 6 ayes, the motion carries.
Thank you. At this point, we're going to come to presentation and suggestions by board members. Before we open it up to board members, I am going to make an announcement on the vacancy that we currently have on the board. The Peoria Public School Board District 150 board member vacancy, we do have a policy. You can find it on our board policies on the district website. It's number 2:70. The school district is accepting applications to fill the vacancy resulting from the resignation of board member Michael Murphy, District 3. The individual selected will serve on the Board of Education from the date of appointment through July 1st, 2026, organizational meeting after the March 2026 general primary election. The school district's mission is to ensure each student's academic achievement and personal success through personalized learning, social emotional learning, and educational equity. There are minimum qualifications to become an applicant for this position. Most importantly, a U.S. citizen, at least 18 years of age, and you must reside in District 3 of the Peoria School District. There's other things that are required, such as being a registered voter. There is a list that will be posted tomorrow morning by 8:30 a.m. on the district website for the application process. Applicants should show familiarity with the board's policies regarding general duties and responsibilities of a board and a board member, including fiduciary responsibilities, conflict of interest, ethics, and gift ban. Their board policies are available online. We, as a board, will be accepting resumes of applicants for the vacant position. They should be turned in electronically to the board's secretary, Cami Ross. Her email is cami.ross@psd150.org. We are accepting applications with a due date of June 20th, 2024 at 4 p.m. So that will be our due date for all applications is June 20th, 2024 at 4 p.m. We do not have a date of when we will have the individual who's filling the vacancy in place. However, to stay within compliance of the statutory limits of a board vacancy, we have 45 days, and that would be on or before our July 22nd board meeting. We will have someone to fill the vacancy appointed or selected by the board.
Just a point of clarification. I just wanted to be clear that the window closes for the acceptance of applications.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
June 20th at 4.
Sorry. So the window for applications closes on June 20th at 4 p.m. And to submit, you need to submit them electronically to Cami Ross at her email address, who is the board secretary. Board members, are there any other presentations or suggestions? Yep. Your mic's not on.
Under presentations and suggestions by board members, we have an opportunity now to start looking at the future rather than continue to react to things. So I'm suggesting that we set up a board level succession committee so that we start looking at what our needs are for the future.
Thank you. Do you have an example of one? Is there someone who has an example for the board? A succession, just a committee. You're just suggesting a committee. Got it. Okay.
Board level succession committee. I'm not sure if I need a consensus. We can't vote on that, but if I need a consensus on that, that's the suggestion that I have.
We can't take any action on it right now. I think that's a discussion that needs to be had. I assume that you want administration on that, or are you talking about board level?
I said board level succession committee.
Okay.
So we can decide whether administration could be.
Okay.
So just further discussion? Mm-hmm. Okay. Other presentations or suggestions by board members? Do we have any reports from board committees?
Okay, no.
I know that before we adjourn that former board president Mike Murphy is not here. He resigned effective on June 8th, but I know that as a board, we would have liked to have wished him well one last time. So I'm sure he's watching. Mike Murphy, we appreciate all of the time that you had on the board. I know that when you let Dr. Crott and myself know, we just amplified all of the great things you have done for this district, from working with Look It's My Book, from coming in and getting the water stations at schools, to all of the other community activities that you have done in the Peoria area. We truly appreciate your time and effort and wish you luck in your new endeavors on the East Coast. So I hope you're watching, and good luck in all that you do on the East Coast. Are there any other reports or suggestions by board members? With that, the meeting is adjourned.